guys, and welcome to my London flat tour. I'm going to be showing to you what £850 per calendar month can get you here in London. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year I showed you around my flat at the time. That one was priced at £830 per calendar month. If you can do quick maths, you realise that I'm paying an extra £20 per calendar month for this flat. But for me, it's totally worth it because I feel as though I'm in a slightly nicer area and I'm definitely in a more convenient location for me to get to work. Those two things alone make it worth it for me. Now for some details about the flat. So this flat is located south of the river. At this stage of my life, it's really important for me to have easy access to the hustle and bustle of London. And to be honest, I feel like that's only possible if you live in Zone 1 or Zone 2. Where I'm living at the moment is in a traditional apartment building, whereas my previous flat was actually in a house that was converted into 2 flats. I definitely much prefer my current setup. And one thing that I really do love about this place is the fact that it has an intercom system. If someone rings the doorbell outside, I can just buzz them in and not actually have to leave my flat, which feels like a luxury. And it was something that I didn't have in my previous building. This flat is located in a somewhat quiet and residential area, which is great because I love the peace and quiet. And then I also love the fact that I've got easy access to a bus stop and a tube station, literally a stone's throw away. So I have easy access to the hustle and bustle when I want it. Oh, and one thing that I forgot to mention is that similarly to my old flat, I'm on the first floor, which I love because, I don't know, I just prefer being a little bit higher up. It makes me feel safe and secure. Well, I think that's enough chatting for now. Let me get on with showing you the rest of this flat. When I viewed this flat for the very first time, I was absolutely shocked as to how huge this bedroom is. And something that's not quite commonly found here in London, or at least definitely not for this price point. As you enter my room and close the door, you are greeted by my little art corner to my left, where you can see a few pieces that I've gotten from Desneo. I actually have loads of prints from that website within my room, and you'll see them as I take you through every single inch. I'm not gonna lie, I've been very amateur and I've stuck them all up with blue tack, but it does the job. After moving on from the artwork, you get to see my whiteboard with the reminder to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already. Typically here I just have like my to-do list or little reminders for things I need to do. But then below that I have tons of perfume here from Zara, a few bits from my trip to Dubai, so this one and this one. And then moving on, I've got deodorant, body oils, and just a few other things. All of this sits on a long chest of drawers which house some of my clothing items. I also use the area on the right to stuff any little plastic bags. And at the bottom, for easy access, I keep the shoes that I wear most often right here. Continuing on from there, we come across this big double door. Let me stand back so you can actually fully take in the size of this. It is an inbuilt wardrobe and it's the wardrobe of your dreams. This wardrobe is well and truly a hoarder's dream. Look at it. It is packed from left to right. I also have things up top, loads of storage, and I've got storage at the bottom, but I'm not going to show you that because I don't need to out myself on the internet like that. The state of this wardrobe is already embarrassing enough, but yeah, you get the picture. I've got a lot of clothes and also a lot of space, so great. Now that I'm closing these wardrobes, right in front of me is another Desneo piece. I absolutely love this piece of art. Brings a little something to the room. Then I've got my window. I love the fact that my room lets in so much natural light. Like I don't even have the lights on right now and the blinds are pretty much closed. So that gives you a kind of like a picture as to what I'm working with here. Beyond the window, I have my famous coat rack. It's literally been up and down the country and it is standing the test of time. Here she is, hanging all my coats, and in the background, again, you can spot some more Desneo pieces. As you can see on this wall, we've got a bit of a green theme going on. Also got my trusty ring light here until I find a permanent home. Hanging off my coat rack, I've just got like bags, I've got belts. So yeah, it's a handy little corner of my room. Now standing all the way back, you can see my bed right in front of us, and again, more artwork. On the left and right of it, I've got a small chest of drawers. This one, as you can see, is my snack table. I've got a nice array of snacks here. Chin Chin, pretzels, biscuits, Snacker Jacks, pretty much everything a girl needs. Next to my bed, I've got my trusty mat. Probably doesn't really go with the room, but to be honest, as you can see from my room, it's just a mix mash of everything. There's no real theme or coordination, but I like it. It works for me. To the right of my bed, I have this door, and there houses my ensuite, but I'll show you that in a moment. I want to show you the rest of my bedroom before we go into there. So we have this little section here, which is essentially the eyesore of my bedroom. It's all my makeup. This is as neat as you're ever going to see it. So yeah. And then I've got like 4 little cubby holes underneath, which I am not not going to show you because anything and everything goes in there. But swiftly moving on, we have my work from home setup. Diary, my monitor, my stand for my laptop because I cannot work on one screen. I need two, so that doubles up as a second screen for me. Hidden under my desk is my trusty radiator because I like to stay warm in the winter. Yeah, after my work from home setup, I've just got two huge mirrors. One that sits at the top of my work from home setup, that was here when I moved in, and then the big mirror that I brought. I always feel like mirrors make a room feel so much bigger and brighter, so they are welcomed. But yeah, that is my bedroom. And now off to the bathroom. But before we do, let me show you the last piece of artwork in my bedroom. I love it. I just think it's so cute, so fun, and a little bit cheeky. But now, into the bathroom. Voila! It's nothing extraordinary. It is pretty white, pretty clinical, does the job. It's got obviously a toilet, a basin, and a shower. Everything you'd expect in a bathroom, but I love it because it's mine. I just love having an ensuite because you have zero competition for the bathroom. Everything's on your schedule, which is great. As you can see, there is no window in my bathroom, so I do have a dehumidifier to keep the area mold free. Now that we're done with my bedroom, let's go to one of my favorite spots in this apartment, which is the living room. So we come across the hallway and here we are. Much like my room, again, the lights aren't even on in this room. It just has so much natural light pouring in here. I've got a huge set of windows right in front of me. So in here we have a nice size L-shaped couch with some funky pillows on top. I've got a little armchair, which you can see behind me, and a little yoga mat. Do excuse that. It's actually quite large in here and quite spacious. I'm not even sure if you can hear a slight echo. In here there's a coffee table, television. I've also got this little bar area. To be honest, it's more of decoration because I don't drink, but it's nice to have it there when guests come round. In here I also have the dining table and just a few little pieces of decoration behind me and on the walls. So yeah, it's just like a nice cute little space. There's fairy lights behind. I don't know if you can see it on the back wall, but just it's a nice cutesy little space. The one great thing about this room is that it retains so much heat because the sun comes beaming in through these windows, meaning it's a great place to dry my clothes. So I like to air dry my clothes in here in the summer, but then in the winter, I've got this little contraption, which is basically like a heated jacket. I love it, and it lives here in the living room. So yeah, that is basically my living room slash dining room situation. Let's get on to the kitchen. So the kitchen is on the same side of the flat as the living room. The kitchen is literally next door, meaning again it gets loads of great natural light in here. So as you can see, she's a little bit dated, still extremely functional and does the job. She's small, she's cute, she has everything you need. There's a washing machine, there's a microwave, got an air fryer, oven, fridge, freezer. I can't even think of anything else. Pretty much everything you would expect to have in a kitchen. Okay, so now we're done in the kitchen. I'll show you behind one more door and I'll talk you through the whole flat. Okay, so last but not least, I wanted to show you behind this door. Basically, it houses tons of storage as well as the water tank. But yeah, it's a good little space. It's hidden, it's out of the way. And to be honest, it's pretty rare to find a flat that does have this much storage. So I am very, very fortunate. I've just shown you behind the last door that I wanted to share within this flat tour, but I must acknowledge that there's two other doors which I haven't shown you in this flat tour, which are this one right behind me and also one right next to my bedroom door, which is this one. That's because they are my flatmate's bedroom and her bathroom. Let's go into the living room so I can explain. Okay, so this flat is actually a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom flat, and I share it with another young professional. For me, that is the best way of keeping costs low whilst living in London. I feel like unless you've got buckets and buckets and buckets of money, you have to make some concessions when coming to London. And for me, that concession is living with a housemate. I'm very fortunate in the housemate that I do have because she is great. I'm very fortunate in the fact that I've been able to find a flat that allows me to have my own bathroom. My flat last year was a 2-bed, 1-bathroom. It's just not for me. I want my own bathroom, I want my own space, and I've been able to achieve that within this flat. So I'm super, super grateful, super, super happy. Now to talk finances. So my share of the rent is £850 per calendar month. The flat in total is £1,700 per calendar month, and we split the rent 50-50. So although I do pay more for this flat than I did my previous flat, for me, it is 100% worth it. Like I said earlier in the video, I feel as though this area here is actually slightly nicer. I'm in a more convenient location for work. I have my own bathroom, which is a huge tick. I've got a bigger bedroom. As well as that, this flat comes with a parking space in a secure gated car park, which, now that I'm saying all of this out loud, makes me realise how much of a steal this flat is for £1,700 a month. I really do think that everywhere I've lived, I've been very fortunate with rent, so I really hope this good luck continues because I love a good deal. But anyway, that brings us to the end of the flat tour. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!